All right, so we just got to Miami. I guess we're not too far. Let's say about another 8 minutes, and we're gonna get to TLM Racing. It was about a 50-minute drive. Traffic was decent. It wasn't too bad, but traffic in Miami is getting bad. You can see it right now. But on the next clip, I'll see you when we get there. All right, so we just got to TLM, and I'm not too familiar about TLM. I think Miguel was talking about how it's predominantly what, racing?
Yeah, it's a BMW race team. It looks like here they do modifications of race cars, and they build them up, and they do their own little races. So we're here to meet with David, which is one of the owners of TLM Racing. They participated in a BMW Invasion event that we had in Palm Beach Cars and Coffee a few months ago. And you know, we started building up a relationship ever since. Today he invited us over to take a look at a shop and figure out, you know, what things we can do in the future for the, you know, big BMW Invasion event. Get the word out of, you know, where they are, what type of stuff that they do, and how they help the BMW community. So stay tuned.
All right, guys, we're at TLM right now. I'm here with Miguel and also the owner of TLM. So, you want to introduce yourself real quick?
David Tuaty.
Tell us a little about your story. So how long you been here?
My
where
story?
you come from?
Wow.
Yeah, let's hear about your story.
You guys got some time?
Yeah, we got some time.
All right, let's see. I have been a racing fan since I was 4 years old. I remember having a picture sitting in my parents' motorhome back in Peru, South America, watching my dad race Toyotas.
Cool.
So I have been a fan ever since. And I got a late start. In college, I went to an autocross with my Toyota Celica. We were a Toyota family back then. And I won the first novice race that I ever entered, and that was it. I called my dad and I said...
How old were you?
We were 17, 18.
Okay.
So it was a late start. But I've always been a fan, so I knew what to do, I knew how to do it. I had I don't know, it was in me. So then I had one of my dad's teammates. Actually, he was my first coach. And he really taught me like the dynamics of the car, and why the car does what it does, and how to get the most out of it. Not just go balls out. It's just, you know, there's a technique behind it, and he really taught me that. And it wasn't too many years later that I understood how to explain it.
Okay.
And that's when I became a coach, because then I understood how to put it into words what I was feeling in the car. So I've been racing ever since. My partner David Tuaty and I, we got together 12 years ago. Independently, I've been doing racing for 25 years, and himself 40 years.
Okay.
Together as TLM has been 12 years.
Okay.
And
What does TLM stand for?
TLM is Tuaty Leda Motorsports, which is my last name, my partner David's last name, and then Motorsports. But nobody could write it. Nobody could spell it. So we just said
Okay.
TLM.
Okay.
And it became TLM pretty quick.
Got it.
When I went pro racing, my first pro car was a Porsche Boxster. And I was racing against BMW back then, BMW 328s and 330s.
The E30 chassis or?
No, those were the
E46?
E46 chassis.
Okay.
And they were very fast, very balanced, extremely neutral, very well driven by some really good teams. So I hooked up with TC Klein Racing, who makes fantastic suspension.
They're still around, yeah.
Yep. TC's still around, and TC's one of my best friends. I hooked up with him in 2003, and we campaigned the first BMW Z4 racing car in the United States. And we finished, we won the team championship. We won Daytona in 2005, the Daytona 200, which was my biggest race to that point. After I won that race, I don't think I took my suit off for 2 days. I just walked around. I just walked around the 24-hour paddock with my trophy, so everybody could take a picture. I signed so many autographs. People had no idea who the hell I am. They still have no idea who the hell I am.
But you were a winner.
But I won, and I had the trophy.
Yeah, good. So that's what got you into BMW.
That was the start of the BMW craze. Yes.
Okay.
Then after that, we got our own 325, which is back there. It's a '92 325, which we.
So 92 is the first year of the E46 chassis, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And that car.
And the M didn't come in that. M came in 95 was the first
Yes.
one. Okay.
That's correct. So that 92 chassis with a 325 motor was the perfect car for the class, SCCA ITR.
Okay.
And we took full advantage of the pros of that car, and we won everything we could possibly think of.
Okay.
We won SCCA, we rented the car, we had guys that went on to race in Formula 2 that I coached, a couple Puerto Rican kids, Felix Arayes.
They have money, I know
Who
that.
have money, and he was coached by me for a full entire year. Then after that, he went on to race Formula 2, Formula 3 in Europe. He did very well. He's now racing in like the ADAC European Series. Yeah, all kinds of stuff. And that car has an incredible, interesting history. That was what started TLM.
Okay.
That car. So we called it Plan B. And then it became Papi Chulo.
Okay.
One of our friends, girlfriends, named it that. And then over the years, it became Plan Bichulo.
Okay.
All our cars have nicknames.
Got it.
All our cars have nicknames. Most of them girl nicknames, but they're all nicknames. So Plan Bichulo has been rented and raced by who knows how many people. And it has, I calculated it the other day, I don't remember the exact number, but it's got over a 95% winning ratio with new drivers.
Wow.
So basically almost everybody that has driven that car has won something in it, whether a championship or a race. Yeah, it's,
Can we show them actually which car you're talking about?
Yes. Unfortunately, it's kind of buried.
It's a little. So this is the car you said it was the nickname of what?
Plan B Chulo.
Plan B Chulo, okay.
It's had 3 names throughout its
Plan
life.
B, Papi Chulo, and now it's Plan B Chulo. Now this car, with a group of girls from Shift Up Now, which it's a cooperative of women racers. We got together and we won the 24 hours at VIR in Virginia. And as you can see, this car gets around a lot.
Yeah, it had some dents and
Oh
dings.
no, it's got the war wounds. Yes, and that's the way we like it.
So has this been around for 10 years, 12 years?
Yes,
Or?
this was our first race car and has never stopped racing.
Wow. How many engines have you gone through in this one?
Like 6 probably.
That's not bad.
No,
That's not bad. 6 engines? That's not bad.
There was a time in that people, you know, the only way you're gonna really hurt one of these motors is by doing a money shift.
Okay.
And we've had, unfortunately, some drivers that are not used to the car that have.
What's a money shift for those that don't know what it is?
Money shift is basically you're in 4th gear trying to get 5th and you get 3rd.
So you bounce off the rubber.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it. You bent all the valves. If you're lucky, you just bent all the valves. So yeah, that happened quite a bit. My partner, David Tuaty, who is our engine builder, came up with a fantastic combination. Basically, gave it a little more relief on the pistons, so you're able to run more RPM and be a little bit more, you know, have a little more cushion.
Okay.
Since then, we haven't blown a motor, even though we have seen some skyrocket RPMs. This type of car can go at 7,300 RPM all day long.
Okay.
What happens is if you're going, for example, at the hairpin at Sebring and you're downshifting from 3rd to 2nd,
Yeah.
and you continuously do that to 7,500, 7,300, eventually you're going to weaken the springs, you're going to weaken the valves, something's going to touch and break. What David has been able to come up with is something to more or less cure that. So people can drive it not as smooth and not break the motor.
And does his technique work on the S50, S52 engine, or is that across the board?
Yeah, all of those motors, M50, 52s, 54s, S50s, S52s, and S54s. It's basically just how you build a motor.
Okay, all right.
We probably are giving up a couple of horsepower, but we are gaining huge amounts of reliability.
Excellent.
And if it was, for example, I know this, if he builds a motor for me to drive, I don't get that. He gives me all the horsepower and no safety. So he goes, don't break it.
Okay, got it. Well, most of our community is S55, this S55 engine.
Okay.
Most of our followers have S55. Ken has one, I have one as well. So what is it that you've seen on these engines that have been their downfall?
Well, it's a very common issue. Probably around 50, 60,000 miles. We've had quite a few of these come in to have to change the valve covers. There are chambers in here that go bad. And it is just a design flaw.
Really?
It's made out of plastic. Yeah, it's a common issue. If you follow the forums and stuff like that.
I have to be honest with you, I haven't been aware of that. I know crank hub is something that, especially when you go boost and you start tuning your car, the crank hub has been known to have fails, especially when you're downshifting, right?
These cars are not as race friendly as the earlier BMW models.
Okay.
Like up until the S65, the V8. Were extremely reliable racing motors. These are quite a bit more complicated. They're very fun street cars. Nobody has asked me to make them into a race car yet, and I'm kind of thankful.
Okay.
It's just extremely complicated.
Got it. So talk to me a little about the shop. I know it's predominantly race oriented, right?
Yes.
And that's what you focus on. Your clientele are
it's 99.9% racing.
Okay.
We take care of our clients' race cars.
Okay.
We build our own race cars and rent them. As you can tell, well, all the cars that are here right now are all customer cars, but most of them I have owned at one point or another.
Okay.
That Porsche started live as a 997 Cup car that we have converted into a 997R. So it's got the wide body. See the wide body fenders, flares, bumper. It's all carbon fiber. Okay. Everything on this car is carbon fiber.
And this is still one of your cars, or
that was one of my cars.
Okay.
Sold it to Mr. Guzman, who is now racing it with us. So even though the car was sold, the car stays here. We do all the maintenance, all the prep. We do all the track support. We put it on our trailers and send it to wherever it is that we want to go racing. Our next race is Daytona at the end of this week, and we're going to be running.
Daytona's already open for racing?
Yeah, oh yes.
Really?
Yes. We're racing Daytona this weekend, and we're racing in these two cars.
Okay.
These are two E46 M3s that are very similar and very different. This is a full-out build carbon fiber.
Oh, the door, the entire door.
The doors, you can see it's got a extremely high-tech, Motec system. Let's see if we pop it up. Sequential transmission, electronic steering.
So these cars originally came with SMG, right?
No, not this one. No, this one came with
This
a 6-speed.
model came, right? The E46
You
came
can
with
have
SMG.
it with a
So
6-speed or an SMG.
Is this transmission completely something?
Oh, no, that is a Drenith real sequential.
Okay.
That's a dot box sequential. You pull back for upshifts, you pull down for downshifts. Okay. It has nothing in common with the SMG.
So this you cannot find this in any BMW. That
No.
transmission is not in any BMW.
No, that is a
Okay.
full-on race transmission that is only available for aftermarket. I mean, you can see everything. It's got the carbon fiber hood.
Yeah.
The carbon fiber dash.
Mm-hmm.
All the panels, all the switches are custom made.
Yeah.
We buy a lot of parts.
Okay.
We have guys that would build our cages. This car originally was built in Full Line, and it was a wide body car. Full Line is in Chicago, Illinois. We have then converted it to keep the same size wheels and stuff, but because of the class that we wanted to run it in, So these are custom fenders that we did in-house.
Okay.
I
can barely tell.
You can barely tell,
Yeah.
but they're about 3 inches bigger than a stock one.
Carbon fiber.
This one's actually made out of metal. No,
This
one's
is the
metal.
OEM
Yep.
fender.
That is the OEM fender that we channeled,
Okay.
widened, covered. It looks
It looks
Yeah.
stock.
factory,
I can't-
right?
Yeah.
Yep. But you can see now. You look at the stock one, a real
Oh, yeah,
stock
definitely.
one.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And we did the same thing for the rears. The rears used to be from a carbon fiber model, and so that's a carbon fiber piece. And we actually have the contour of the stock one,
Okay.
but wider. So this car can run 295
Okay.
wheels all the way around.
I see there's a lot of E46s in your shop. Is that something that
Yeah, we love E46s.
E46s?
They're the lightest combination of chassis, suspension geometry, and you can put a S65 motor in it, you can put a S54 motor in it, and the car just handles really well. The E90, E92 chassis is a little bit heavier, more cumbersome, longer wheelbase, not as tossable.
Okay.
I've driven lots of E90 race cars. It's not the same thing for me, at least.
Okay.
The E90, the E46 M3s are by far the nicest handling. You can really throw it into a corner. Oh,
Now,
big time.
do you have to be physically fit before? I mean, do you prepare yourself throughout the year?
You should.
For the cycling, yeah. I see you're skinny.
I've been
but-
165 pounds since I was in 10th grade in high school.
Okay.
I mean,
But do
good
you
genes.
exercise regularly? Do
Yes.
you? Okay.
Yes,
All right.
yes, yes, yes.
All right.
Yes, try to do cardio and, just the regular stuff. I don't go crazy. I don't spend 8 hours at the gym, but, push-ups, sit-ups. I dance a lot with my wife.
Okay. Salsa?
Salsa.
Okay.
Absolutely. Merengue. Keeps you fit. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, you have to. You have to
Okay.
stay active. You have to make sure you're breathing and your mind. It's extremely mentally draining to be on the race car because you have to be in the car for at least a full fuel load, and that could be 2 hours.
Okay.
So you have to be 2 hours going 150 miles an hour down to 50, up to 150 again and again
Yeah.
and again and again. Yeah, you better have your concentration on the money.
How about mentally? Because
Yes.
it's almost like claustrophobic. You're stuck.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
Right?
And that's where a lot of the coaching comes into mind, and that's what I try to teach my customers is think, like, why does the car do what it does? Especially with new drivers, I spend a lot of the times, I'm like, they have a death grip on the wheel. I'm like, relax, like two hands, 2 fingers, just guide the car. Now, there are times that you have to have a firm grip, but never a death grip. That death grip will physically drain you,
Okay.
and also mentally. You're coming into a corner, you know what the car is supposed to do. So you make sure you have your same brake markers, your same turning point, the same throttle pickup, and if you already have that, it becomes second nature. Like, I had to really think back at what I do when I'm coaching. Because in my beginning career as a coach, when people would ask me, "Oh, what do you do here?" I would think back. I'm like, I have no idea. Like, I have to think back. Okay, where do I brake? So I would go back out, do a couple laps. I'm like, okay, I brake at this marker. I brake here, but it becomes second nature after 20-minute session. I don't even look. I just know where it is by feel, by sound. Your peripherals are very important. You have to know. You have to have eyes behind your head.
All right, guys. So we're wrapping up today with David from TLM. Stay tuned. We got some good things coming down the pipeline.
You guys are leaving because you want to, because you're welcome here anytime.